We know we're not pros and you can't really keep up the training regime of a pro, but can you do pro level workouts? Well, yes and no. There's no way as mere mortals, especially if you're getting older, that you can keep up the training regime and 20, 25, 30 hour weeks of riding and expect to still hold it together. I think if I did a 25-hour week, I'd be in pieces for a few weeks afterwards. So no, you can't follow a full-on training program of a pro. But can we do pro level workouts? Yes, you can, but there is a trick to doing them, and it's all about volume. So can we do hard intervals, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, max efforts? Yeah, you can. Can we do VO2 3, 4, 5 minute efforts? Yes, you can do those too. If you're finding this video interesting and useful, what would really help the channel is if you just watch the video all the way to the end. That seems to be the thing that YouTube cares most about, and it'd be great if we could keep YouTube happy. And depending on your training experience, how old you are and your recovery ability, basically it's all about reducing those pro level workouts to ones you can actually manage and gain from. So for example, if a pro might do 4 or 5 20-minute threshold or sweet spot blocks when they're out on a 4 or 5 hour ride, I know I'm not going to be able to do that, but I could do 2 or 3 sweet spot blocks of 20 minutes on the turbo and actually get a lot of benefit from it without killing myself. And similarly, if I want to do hard 4-minute efforts, building up that VO2 max, again, yeah, I can do those, but rather than doing 2 or 3 sets of hard efforts like those, I might be able to get away with 1 set of 4x4 or maybe 2 sets. And as I said, you can't really give any full training breakdowns because it's all dependent on how much you're used to taking, how much your body can cope with, and your age. So you can experiment with those type of efforts to see exactly how much you can cope with. But just because you're getting older doesn't mean you don't have to do or can't do hard pro level efforts like those. Another thing to bear in mind is how many you do a week. A pro might be able to handle 3 or 4 really hard sessions in a week, whereas I know I could probably get away with 2, maybe 3 on a good week, but then I may be paying for it over the next week or few days. Again, it's down to trial and error to see what you can cope with. One of the key things as you get older is to make sure you build in recovery days into your week. For example, I often have a Monday and a Friday as a recovery day when I really don't do much physical activity at all. So one of the key messages of this video is don't think just because you're older you can't do hard workouts and they're not good for you. One of the reasons we slow down as we get older is for that very reason, that we are not pushing ourselves. So I hope you found the video useful and interesting. If you've got any comments about training high intensity efforts as you're older, don't forget to drop that in the comments below too. And until next time, bye for now.